Welcome to day 3. Today we're going to start out by looking at Unit 7, Lesson 2. We're going to look at the big picture, the simplified skill, and the scope and sequence. Let's start out by looking at our big picture. If you'll notice here, Unit 7, Dividing Fractions, is located in the second 9 weeks. Scroll down, you'll see Lesson 1 that we talked about yesterday, division of a fraction by a fraction using visual models. Today we're moving on to Lesson 2, division of a fraction by a fraction using area models. And notice that is a 2-day lesson. If we look at our cover page or simplified skill, you'll see again that there's 7 days of instruction plus assessment time for a total of 8 days. Then you'll find the vocabulary listed below that they will acquire during Unit 7. Scroll down till you find Lesson 2, division of a fraction by a fraction using area models. Again, that's covering the Alabama Course of Study 6.4, and it can be found on days 2 through 3. Here you have your kid-friendly I can statements. I can recall how to find a common denominator of 2 fractions, and I can use an area model to model division of a fraction by a fraction. Again, looking at your self-assessments, you've got your 4s. I can teach someone. Those are the students that get the concept and can turn around and teach it to another student. Then you've got your 3s. Those are your students who can do it on their own. Those are your proficient students. Then you have a 2. I can do it with some hints. And your 1, not quite there yet. So let's look at the scope and sequence for Lesson 2, division of fraction by fraction using an area model. Again, you have your 2 days, you have your course of study standard, and then you have your teacher note that is specific to this lesson. It says the students will use their prior knowledge of common denominators to model dividing a fraction by a fraction using an area model. Problems that are given should progress in the following manner. Quotients that will be a whole number, quotients that will be a mixed number, and quotients that will be a fraction. Below that, you have your prerequisites. In order to complete this lesson, 6th graders will need to understand division as an unknown factor problem. For example, find 32 divided by 8 by finding the number that makes 32 when multiplied by 8. Also, apply and extend previous understanding of division to divide unit fractions by whole numbers and whole numbers by unit fractions, which was a 5th grade skill. Materials needed, you'll find that next, along with a description. Also, pay close attention, make sure you're seeing the colored pencils, grid paper, or any other materials you'll need to complete this lesson. And then you have your additional support and resources. That leads us to the presentation strategy, which is labeled Day 1 and Day 2. Once this video is ended, I'll give you a moment to read over your presentation strategy, and then we'll get started on Lesson 2, Unit 7.